Rehan has another initiative called the Rehan School, which is going to enlist celebrities in developing countries to create a video in their own language that will allow kids who don't read and write and adults who don't read and write, to write their own name. The idea is that with a 3-month course, which is free, people can learn to read and write. My question is, Rehan, how are you going to pay for this? Creating a 3-month course is not a simple process. Creating the curriculum, as you probably know, for a 3-month course is not a simple process. So teaching people to read and write in 3 months on mobile phones, the piece that I'm missing in your little video is what the curriculum is and how you're going to accomplish it. I think it's a fairly complicated thing. If you took a simpler thing, which is that you just teach each person who's illiterate to write their own name, that's a simple thing, which I think that you could come up with a script for that celebrities in each country might sign on to. And teaching people how to write their own name and coming up with a little 2-minute video that will allow them to do that would be a huge step forward. You would still have to find the funding for it. And as you know, I think in terms of for-profit enterprises. So would people, for instance, be willing to pay the equivalent of 2 cents in US cents for learning how to write their own name? I'll bet you a lot of people would. It might be a tough thing to collect. I'm just thinking out loud about ways in which you could make this into a self-funding enterprise. Perhaps you could get a group of 30 people signed up in one place, each of whom would pay a nickel. There might just be, it would take some creativity to figure out how to make this from a charity that teaches people how to read and write, and there are many, as you know, many organizations trying to teach literacy training, and as far as I know, they haven't come up with a very simple, inexpensive way to do it. So I would look at 2 things. One is how to make it into a source of revenue so that it would be at least self-sufficient, if not profitable, to do this. And secondly, I would start with a simple step, like teaching illiterate people to write their own name, and pilot test that. And you could probably piggyback more complex literacy courses that people might be willing to pay for. But that's a much tougher proposition, and how you plan to do that isn't explained in your video. Good luck with your initiative, Rehan.